Hello, welcome into the starters. I'm Dave, that's Simon, and that is George. How's it going, boys?
What's going on, gentlemen?
Dave, what's going on?
Same old. I'm in my gazebo today, so it's very nice. First show straight from
Look
the
at you.
outdoors.
Look at you.
You know what? I went
Look
out
at
and I covered some of the furniture because I think we're expecting rain up here in the LV overnight,
Right.
and it was beautiful outside.
Oh, yeah.
It's gorgeous.
Wonderful day. We're working our way towards a live show on George's boat. This is just like a subtle hint. That's the plan. All right, guys, let's dive in here. Thank you all for tuning in. Be sure to follow us at the Starter 690. Play along, and of course, comment and like our posts if you can. And just thank you all for who have supported us along the way. All right, guys. First question: Lane Hutson, pretty much a unanimous almost decision, winning the Calder Trophy as Rookie of the Year. I don't think it was ever in any doubt. Almost a historical season for him. I just want to know, how do you guys think it will be affecting his contract talks? Like, do you think that that's something that the agent has in his back pocket and he brings it out, or do you think it's overblown and it won't be affecting that number at the end of the day?
If his agent doesn't use that, then you got to change agencies, right? That's the first thing I'd bring. Like, if I was negotiating and I was Lane Hutson, I'd bring the Calder Trophy to the negotiations. I don't know, fill it up with some ice, maybe a beverage. I don't know, put a plant in there. Listen, Rookie of the Year is a big deal. Macklin Celebrini, missed some time, but I think there's greatness in Macklin Celebrini's game, so he beat him out. Matvei Michkov as well, so it's a pretty nice class. I'm really happy for Dustin Wolf that he finished second in the voting. I think it's when you're a rookie goaltender in this league, it's just not something you see every day. So, but for Lane Hutson, yeah, I was telling a buddy, best thing that happens for Lane Hutson is he finishes second in Calder Trophy voting, so he doesn't add another million to the pile. Of course, I think it's definitely going to help him in his negotiations. How much? Hard to tell. You see that number all over the place, depending on if it's a 5-year deal, a 6, 7, 8-year deal. I think Quinn Hughes had taken a 6-year deal, so does he go down that road? I don't know. But yes, Dave, that Calder Trophy is going to cost the Canadians an extra buck, without question.
All right, George?
So if you remember correctly, about the month of January, I started to say this is going to be a very expensive contract. And lo and behold, he's added a Rookie of the Year trophy to the mantle. I said it at the end of the year as well. This is starting to look a lot like a $84 million contract, $85 million contract. It's going to be big bucks. It's going to be big bucks. This is going to be 10 million, 10.5 a year for 8 years. It's going to be expensive. The Montreal Canadiens are going to pay. I can't see how he gets less money now that he's Rookie of the Year. It's only going to be more money. It's going to be a crazy offseason. I'm curious to see how much Mitch Marner's contract affects the entire market too. So when you look at that, you look at what's going on, you look at the fact that he won Rookie of the Year. He set a record for most assists by a defenseman, tying it. It's going to be super expensive. This is going to cost a lot of money to the Montreal Canadiens. And I was pretty confident at the end of the year. I was like, 10 million, he's going to be okay. This might cost up north of 10 million. This is starting to get very expensive. And I do believe he's going to take the 8-year deal. Just makes total sense. His agent's going to be, I don't remember if you guys remember Rudy. You remember Rudy? 150 pounds, not an ounce of athleticism. But that's not Lane Hutson. But yes, not a speck of athleticism, I think he said. But I think he's going to say, listen, you're a little bit of a smaller player. Let's go. Let's guarantee this contract, and then we'll see what we get you on the next one. That's what I think it's gonna go.
Interesting. All right, and that brings us to our second question of the night. And basically, I just want to know, guys, Canadians have a lot of, Lane Hutson is a stud. It looks like he'll be in the league for a while. You obviously have Nick Suzuki, Cole Cobb. You have a plethora of players who are, pretty pretty interesting in terms of potential stars in the NHL. And I just want to know that Montreal Canadiens have never really had a cover boy for the NHL. They had a Saku Koivu, very regional release, but it was in Finland. It was the Finnish European release, I believe, but never an official cover boy. PK Subban did in 2019, but with the Predators.
I was about to say that. Yeah. So yeah, Dave, listen, that's a little inaccurate, right? Because he's always going to be a Montreal Canadian. So
I know, but he was in the Predators yellow in that thing, right? So I just want to know, basically, who do you guys think, if the Canadiens were to have one player coming up in the years coming up on that cover, who do you think has the best shot at it?
I got to go Demidov on this one. I think if you look at it, right, I mean, he's got the pedigree. He's got the high draft status. He's flashy. If his first game was any indication, of what he can do in an entire season, I think he started to show some flashes towards the end of the playoffs as well. Seemed like he started to understand the speed of the game. I mean, all signs really point to him, but consistency, sometimes the guy on the cover isn't necessarily the best player in the NHL. A la Steven Stamkos, who's had a great career, but you can probably count on your hand how many times he was the best player in the NHL in a given season. And he was just a model of consistency, right? And that's where Lane Hutson comes in. So if I would rank them, I'd say Demidov for the flash, right? I mean, but Hutson for the consistency would be my 1B pick.
Wow. Okay. Simon?
I don't know who's ever been on a cover, Dave. I've never played a video game in my life. I know it freaks you out.
Fair. The Hughes brothers were the latest one, all three of them. Previous there was Trevor Zegras and Sarah Nurse. They did like a combined cover. Yeah. And then there was like Ovechkin, obviously Crosby, McDavid.
What game are we talking about here?
NHL. Just like the basic NHL. Kind of like a Madden, but for the hockey version of it.
I'm going to say this. Look, I don't think Zegras kind of threw me off here.
It was more of a
say that if you're going to be on the cover, you're the best at your position. I love Lane Hutson. I think Cale Makar's the best hockey player in the world. So it's hard to get a cover athlete. And it's hard to get ahead of him in a cover unless they don't go back to him a second time. Or
they rarely go back to back.
Only Matthews, I think, did back to back.
Matthews went back to back. Oh my God, this question is getting more difficult as we go along. I'm going to say.
And I'll give you one more reference. Dion Phaneuf was once a cover. Okay, just to give you, it doesn't necessarily mean the best player.
I said that. Right?
Great World Junior resume. The double Dion, of course, famous by Pierre Maguire.
Of course.
I'm going to go. I'm trying to envision a player from the Canadiens that's going to be the best at their position right across the league. And I'll go with a good old American boy.
Ooh.
Give me Jacob Fowler.
Wow. I thought you were going somewhere else.
Goes off the board. Okay.
Give me that, maybe, if I'm sitting, whoever makes this game is Sega Genesis and television.
TurboGrafx 16. Yes.
Whoever does this game, Dave, I'm thinking they're sitting in the round, their think tank, and they're saying, maybe, you know what? You put the lineage up there, you put the Jacques Plante, you put the Ken Dryden, you put the Patrick Roy. You got to put Jose Theodore because he's got his Hart and his Vezina in the same year. Of course, you put your Carey Price, and then maybe you throw in a Jacob Fowler in there to see the lineage that is the position. I would think the most. I can't say it's the. I'll go a little homer here and say it's the most recognized position in all of hockey. The Montreal Canadiens goaltender, kind of the same way. It doesn't have to mean they're the best. The same way the Dallas Cowboys, everybody knows who the Dallas Cowboys quarterback is, even if they're 4-13 on the season, we know who their quarterback is. So give me a little bit off the board, but I'm going to say Jacob Fowler comes into this league, becomes legitimate number one, USA at the Four Nations, USA goalie at the Olympics, starts to get the Canadiens into Eastern Conference Finals. Jacob Fowler on the cover, Dave.
So, Dave, we're going to be looking forward to 2028 when EA releases NHL 28 Lineage Edition.
Yes. The best I don't know how this works.
Yeah.
you did the marketing for EA.
Yeah,
I mean, this is a good pitch.
2028 Lineage Edition. This is going to be quite the game. I mean,
I like it just because if Jacob Fowler is the cover athlete for the game, they have a lot of things going for them. You know, if he ends up being of all those players on the board, he ends up being the best of them. That's a pretty good
goes
setup.
off the board. I like it, Simon. I like this.
I thought you were going to say Cole Coffey. When you said American, I'm like, okay, Cole Coffey is going to put up 50. I like that you threw it out.
There's Tage Thompson and a couple of other good American. Obviously, Aston Matthews.
Yeah, but they don't put the best. I mean, if Cole
you're right.
If Cole Caulfield scores 50 goals, example, there's a good chance he might get it. There's a good chance he might get it. So.
It's about marketability, and I like that lineage thing. I could see the cover. You have the shadows like faded out of the past, all going into the Jacob Fowler.
Jacques
I like it.
Mask, Carey Price with his.
I like it. I like it.
Theodore with the toque.
Yeah.
EA Sports, call Simon. We got this. I'm telling you, 2028 edition. This is
in the game. It's in the game.
It's in the game. It's in the game.
All right, gentlemen. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Be sure to tune in, of course. 10 to noon Saturday, Sunday. We're on a break a little bit for the summer.
Yeah.
But be sure to tune back in when the hockey season, the fall rolls around, and we'll be in full swing there, 10 to noon on TSN 690, and give the Starters a follow at the Starters 690. Thanks, boys.
Ciao, boys.
Take care.